if we arrived down to August 2023, I had all these therapeutic tools, and I didn't have something to hang it off. And I got introduced to a guy in America who would come up with a particular approach to working with the unconscious mind, and it worked for me. Different way of working with individuals. And we were doing that for a period of time until October 24, when we went our separate ways. And that really led to the birth of Rewired for Men. And for me, all these lessons that I've shared, or even scratching the surface, what Rewired for Men is about is working predominantly with men to, first of all, make them aware of their unconscious beliefs, because that's what rules the show, about why we behave or say the things we say or don't say. When they're aware of that, I support them and empower them to get back in with themselves, understand why they make decisions that they make, the psychoeducation piece. And from there, I'm able to also help them build trust back in themselves, about their gut instinct, about their inner voice, whatever phrase you want to do it, to then rewire those unconscious beliefs permanently. And for me, Rewired for Men gives me the opportunity to put into practice all this lived experience that I have, the skills that I have, to make a real difference to people's lives.
So how long has it been going on for this Rewired?
So Rewired for Men came into existence, the business is only 2 years old. And the beauty of it is I can work online with individuals. I don't need the emotional story of what men have. You don't need to share that with me. I get to the root cause in 30 days or less. I think there's very few approaches out there that can do that.
Oh, you're like a psychiatrist, psychologist?
To some degree. There's some degree. But that's based on all the therapeutic qualifications I have. The other thing, which is obviously the MS Wellbeing, I'm a great believer in empowering people towards greater lives so they can help other people. And BMS Wellbeing allows me to do that, plus 2 other directors in the company. And do that, we do group initiatives. We do wellbeing workshops, men's peace support groups, and digital literacy groups. And over the years, we've got a track record of how we've not only made a difference to people's lives who've come to the workshop, we've then taken that home. We've then helped friends and family, and some of those friends and family have come along. And we've really seen, more so personally for me, living out why I'm here on this earth, to make a difference to people's lives so they can help others move forward.
Gosh, sorry, I had to rush you because it's an amazing story. So have you had some good results with the group work and with, so I guess the BSM Wellbeing is for groups and organisations, and Rewired for Men is for groups or individuals? So
BMS Wellbeing are all group-based initiatives. So since we started pulling funding in, year after year, we've engaged so many people measuring that improvement in their health and wellbeing. And what I would say is, visit my website, bmswellbeing.com. You go on there, you can see the funding reports we've got on there. A lot of how we operate is we would secure funding first and then offer it out for individuals to engage, or organisation in the third sector engage in it. But we're also open to opportunities to work with business to secure funding, work in partnership, collaboration. But I'm also aware there are charities out there who have small pots of funding who might not have the skill set to spend that little pot that they have. And that's where we can come in to help with that.
And I guess you know how important that is with you being someone who was working and when you wasn't well. And so you know how important that is to support people, to support the workers through an organisation like yours.
It's really, really important, do you know what I mean, from that perspective. And like I said, we're in a process of securing further funding to get back out there delivering the wellbeing workshops, to get involved with the men's peace support stuff. You know, for a period of time, we were involved with Directions for Men, running a peace support group for themselves. And we're in the process now of looking at potential opportunities for other people, trying to build that link a bit further to do that, because hence the old nature of collaboration. So, you know, that's kind of how that works. And again, if you go on the website of BMS Wellbeing, I linked Rewired for Men together with BMS Wellbeing as part of the funding initiative through the lottery to basically give fully funded places to some of the men within the community. And again, you know, success speaks for itself. Rewired for Men itself is a for-profit aspect, so it's the private company aspect of that degree. And it's great just seeing how that builds over the years. Where I've shifted my focus is predominantly working with men in business who find themselves in areas such as IT and communication, finance and investment, construction and trade. Because very much those are the areas where they tend to be male-dominated, tend to be quite toxic environments, target-driven, lonely from that perspective. And unfortunately, it's all the ingredients that can lead men to make some very poor decisions. On top of that as well, from my own personal experience, throwing the family business element, I think it becomes even more difficult for all aspects involved.
So what does BSM stand for?
So BMS stands for Body, Mind and Soul.
Oh, BMS, sorry. Body, Mind and Soul, yeah.
From my own experience looking back is when these are facets of every single individual. It's up to you how you want to interpret the last one, each to their own. But all those, what I do know, I need to be in a healthy place. But again, whatever that looks like for you. Because when something happens in your life, it doesn't just impact on one aspect, it impacts on them all.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we seem to be in a society of individuals, I'll just work on my physical. What about your mental and your spirit? Your mental and your spiritual? Oh, I'll just work on spiritual, but what about your mental? What about your mental?
Holistic approaches.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is driven into the values of BMS, what I mean, but also Rewired for men. And the last thing I would sort of say is, you can't underestimate the power of simple approaches. And if anybody's not heard it before, have a look at 5 Ways to Wellbeing. 5 Ways to Wellbeing was an approach that came out by a sociologist. I think he was a sociologist about the early 2000s. And it's based on the idea of fruit and veg. Eat 5 fruit and veg, live the dream each day. But it's the same for mental health.
Yeah.
And the 5 aspects are, the first one is connect. Connect with other people. You know what I mean? Relationships are really important in our lives to share that with others. Be active. Move your mood. Get off the couch.
Yeah.
Go and do something. It's the quickest way to improve your mood is just get out of the house.
Just walk.
Go for a walk around the block.
Yeah.
You'll keep learning. Someone said to me once, you only stop learning when you die. You're learning every day through what you read, but also through the choice that you make, perhaps that aren't particularly great or are great. I think you can learn just as much from the other side. Take notice. How often do we actually take notice of the environment around us? How often do we hear the sounds? How often do we just smell our environment? How often are we out there? Because a lot of time we're just in our heads.